Hey guys, this is Shadow. Hello and welcome to something new, you could say. As you can see, we're playing Smite, and what I'm gonna try to do is try to do a post commentary on my gameplay. So why a post commentary? Because I found out that if I'm playing the game, I'm actually cannot concentrate on commentating because I'm so into the game. I need to think about so many things, you know. I just there will be periods of silence, me just thinking about something. So why could I build? What could I do? So I'm not good at live commentating my own gameplay. So I'll try it post. So yeah, this is a game I'm gonna play mid lane. I'm playing with my buddy Sandox. He's Odin. He wants to try out Odin. I think this is his first Odin match, and actually fares quite well on it, so that's cool. We have a Gap as a support guardian, and we have Neef as the hunter / AD carry, so that's a cool thing. Then we have Bakasura in the jungle, and I'm gonna play Kukulkan. I randomly decide to buy my gold skin because I actually have him on level 1 already. So I played this guy before, and Kukulkan is actually one of my more favorite champions, gods, whatever. The enemy team, as you can see, is consisting out of Gap as well. Gap and Honor as the guardian and the hunter. Then they have in the solo lane Guan Yu. In the mid lane they will have Scylla, and there is a Odin as well on the enemy team as a jungler, if I'm correct. And as you can see, I have some really fancy border there, and that's actually nothing else than the border you get if you buy at least 6 Odyssey items. And I just love to support esports. So I did that. I pretty much bought every Odyssey item. So now my border looks extremely fancy, and a lot of people probably think, oh, this guy must be really good. No, I'm not. I'm actually not. So, so I buy my starter items, and actually something I stopped doing in the more recent matches of mine. I stopped buying active items at the start, most of the time, because I feel I need to just see how the game goes before I actually can decide on a real active. But with Kukulkan I actually go for Sprint, because that synergizes well with his number 2 spell, the Slipstream, which is a nice speed buff. I feel that has great synergy there. And against my lane opponents, sometimes I buy beats early on if I play against something that has some really annoying stuns. For example, Anubis, I always buy beats, because if he catches you in a stun, you're dead. But Scylla, yes, she has a root, but I think as long as she's not level 5 and has her ult, she cannot 2-shot me, so I think that's alright. Here I'm helping Odin with the jungle buff, or to make it more precise, he actually helps me, gives me the blue buff, which is very useful for me. So I can actually wave clear really crazy fast. I totally forgot, Bakasura was actually the jungler, not Odin. So he is solo lane Odin, which is also cool. I like Odin as far as I have seen him. I need to try him out myself in the future. It's probably not my style of character, because I prefer mages and hunters. But I might try him out. So here's the matchup against Scylla. I'm not sure. I think Kukulkan most of the time actually has a real easy matchup against most gods. It's my feeling, because you have that amazing wave clear, that whirlwind, which, as you can see, it burns through minion waves like nothing else. And then you have your Zephyr, the skill shot that I just shot into the minion wave to clear it faster, to slow down enemies, and you have your Slipstream should you need to get away. So I think that's cool. The only thing that I have to say about this matchup is you will see it a few times in this game. Scylla has an amazing escape. I think it's called Sentinel. She puts one of her, what is it even, one of her beast thingies, I think it's some kind of wolf or dog, one of those. She can put one of those on the ground somewhere nearby, and then it will act as a ward for a short duration, and if she reactivates the skill, she actually jumps to that creature, which is amazing for escaping. You can see I get her quite low with the tornado here, forcing her to actually probably back off here, so that's something Kukulkan is really good at. Harassing opponents. Here I'm thinking about the ult, but yeah, the ult, it's a powerful ult. Kukulkan's ult is really powerful, but it's not as easy to hit as people like to think, because the hitbox is actually rather small and it's kinda slow. If you're not completely unaware of it, that it's coming, you will have almost all the time have the time to step out of the way. So it's actually most effective in narrow jungle fights, or in general in team fights where the enemy is preoccupied with other stuff. So there, that was her Sentinel there, that creature on the ground. She just jumped to that, and she will actually escape several nasty situations in the future here with that nice move. She's actually quite good, I have to say. There's a few outplays in that game she does to me, and yeah, it was an interesting matchup in the mid lane. It was fun. At the moment we are actually just a bit ahead in gold. Here comes Bakasura for a gank. I realized it too late, but bam, there's the sentry, she's gone. Here comes the Odin. I just put my ult out to pretty much zone Odin away, and I get the kill there with a last auto attack, because he pretty much face first jumped into my ultimate. I'm trying to escape here, but yeah, Odin just slows me down. I have no mana left, no sprint available, nothing, and that's an easy kill for him, but I think that's okay. So here I'm deciding on my first items. I go for level 2 boots and the first tier item of Book of Thoth. And I have to say I love Book of Thoth on Kukulkan. I think it's so great. It synergizes so well with his passive. I think the Book of Thoth gives him 3% of his mana as magical power, and his passive gives him 5%. And the Book of Thoth, of course, for every stack you get a little bit of mana permanently. So I try to rush this thing every time on Kukulkan if I can, as soon as possible. Most of the time I will finish boots first, depending on the matchup, if I really need to be fast in the lane. But Book of Thoth is pretty much a must buy. At least in Conquest, because the matches will almost always go long enough for you to stack up properly. Here's a fight in the jungle I'm going over. I saw Scylla go over. And here would be a perfect spot for my ult, but I botch it completely. It misses everything, but at least the tornado is good. That whirlwind is so good for zoning. You put it into the jungle and there's pretty much no way they can dodge it. Here actually Scylla uses her sentry to go forward and not for escaping, which means she had to walk through that tornado, and here pick the kill up with a easy Zephyr. So nice, getting some kills for me. Getting big. Gab, our Gab escapes narrowly with his life. That was pretty crazy. Though our Neve went down. That was a bit sad. So if I hit that ult, might have turned out a bit different. But as I said, that ult is not too easy to land, I feel. Really, that hitbox is very narrow. So here I'm just trying to clear some more waves to get some gold before I go back, actually, to get some significant item advantage. I'm now on 1000, almost 1200, which will grant me the level 3 boots, which is not too bad. I buy some wards, some pots, and I should actually buy more wards. Every time I go back I should buy wards, because they're so important, and most of the time I forget it. I completely forget to buy wards, which is a damn shame, because so many ganks would be easily avoidable if I just had some wards. There's Scylla again with her Sentinel getting away. No problem from that gank. Here I'm coming over. Technically I wanted to do the blue buff, but they're sieging the tower, and here I'm thinking I'm just killing the minions with that ult and I get the buff faster. So I'm trying to def the tower here, which actually worked out. Only mistake here, you might have noticed, I forgot to pick up that blue buff. That's maybe a bit more understandable if you know that I played League of Legends before, and there, of course, if you last hit a buff, that buff is automatically transferred to you. So that's a bit of a new thing for me, to actually have to physically pick up that buff. But hey, I guess we all have to learn. Here I'm coming over to try to help my buddies out in the lane here. Scylla and their Odin are aggressing. No, it's actually their Guan Yu as well. Here a nice Zephyr on Odin. Scylla actually catches me with a Sikkim there to root me, but I pick it up with an auto attack in the end. And here I'm trying to get Scylla down. My ultimate is like 15 seconds away here, and if I would get my ultimate I might have a chance to kill her. So I'm trying to bide my time here, checking their mana camp, it's not there. Now their tower went down, and now Scylla is of course intelligent enough to back off immediately. So to land the ult like this when they're under the tower looking at you, it's almost impossible. Because that thing is so slow, they will dodge it every time. I wouldn't try it, unless they're like stuck between the wall of the tower and, you know, the lane wall. Maybe there, if they're stuck there, you could hit them, but still not the easiest shot to take. Here I'm trying to get some more gold before I go back, so I can instantly buy the Book of Thoth. Book of Tooth? Book of Thoth, it's called. So they're pushing, now they're in my mid lane. There's Odin, and Guan Yu is somewhere around here. Last time I saw him on the mini-map. So the thing is, both of these guys are extremely dangerous for me, because they both can jump on me. And Odin can, of course, his ult can cage me inside, and as you can see here, Guan Yu just sticks to me and he almost kills me there with his blade whirl thingy, and that guy is gonna be a problem for me. And here I'm very foolish, thinking, ha, I can get an easy kill there, but yeah, I was baited hard here. I dodge out the ultimate of Scylla, the I'm a monster, but in the end she picks me up with an easy crush. That was a bit foolish of me. But hey, I actually was in the lane long enough to get enough gold for the Book of Thoth, and this is pretty much where you have to go into lanes and farm, because you can get up to 75 stacks, and of course with each stack you get more magical power because of the passive of the book, and Kukulkan of course gets more magical power as well with his passive from every stack of the book. So that's an amazing synergy, I love that. And you will get to a absurd amount of magical power even before you buy the Rod of Tahuti, which in League of Legends terms is the death cap. This percentile increase of magical power. There again, that Sentinel to get away from my damage, but here she almost walks into my ult. Ah, that was so close. But it clears out the minion wave, which is not too bad, and I can force her now back from the tower. As you can see, that Whirlwind, it's not only a good damage spell, and it's not only good to deal massive AoE damage in team fights, it's so good for zone control. If you put that down into a jungle path, or as you can see here, like right here, everybody walks to that. You see Odin was walking right through the Whirlwind, and Scylla as well. And if they do that, they will actually get so much damage. I think they nerfed Kukulkan the recent patch. I think as long as you're not standing in the tornado, you will receive 2 damage ticks less, if I'm correct. I think that was the patch. So as long as they're getting out of the tornado again, they will not get as much damage as before. But if you put that Whirlwind down at the right position, you will force the enemy either to walk through that tornado and actually receive that damage, or you will split them up. Both is right. Here Odin comes in with a blink, scaring the crap out of me. You see I ult in panic there, hitting not even one minion. And I think that's the... here's actually our Odin caging in Guan Yu and their Odin, making for an easy Whirlwind to lay down, killing their Guan Yu, and now here their Odin is trying to box me in there, but Geb with a nice shield. The thing is, he actually is getting away here. He also got a nice shield. And from their Geb, of course. And I almost picked that kill up. I misplaced my Whirlwind, sadly. But hey, here I need to go back. No, not any more mana. And the item I just bought right here is a bit weird. I think you should only do that if you're expecting a longer game. Because the Warlock Sash is another stack item, of course. For each stack you will get magical power and you will also get life. So it makes you as a caster a bit more tanky, I think, or I suppose. Which can help in these fights against the likes of Guan Yu and Odin, of course. So I think that's a good one. There's Bakasura picking up that kill on the already almost dead Scylla. There's Odin jumping in again, and we back off here because we don't know who's coming, and as almost predicted, there's the Guan Yu, and I'm scared of him. I'm so scared actually, I bought a blink, as you can see. At the moment it's just the low tier blink, which I only can use out of combat, but I intend to actually pick up a big blink as soon as I can, because you can see, if Guan Yu jumps me, I'm dead. I managed to actually slow him enough so that he dies under tower as well, but if that guy wants to kill me, he gets it. And with Combat Blink, I might be able to actually avoid deaths like that. So I'm trying to go for a Combat Blink as soon as possible. It will also help me with the ult from Odin, of course. So I can actually get out of that as well. But at the moment I want to get the Warlock Sash as fast as possible, because having a stack item so late in the game, I mean, I will probably get it about the 20-minute mark or something. And the problem is, if the game is almost over by then, if you're by then just running back and forth between Fire Giant and Gold Fury, your stack item will not get full. It won't. I mean, at the moment we're still kind of fighting in lanes, and picking up larger minions. Here I actually go for a nice blink into ultimate, which will hit a lot of people. No, actually it only hits Odin, but it kills him. Here's the zoning for that tornado, making all of them walk right through it. All of them losing lots of life here, slowing Geb down to a crawl with my Zephyr. Bakazura comes in, and here is the Whirlwind over the wall, picking up that kill. Now of course Odin and Guan Yu behind me, and I have pretty much no chance of escaping this. So yeah, combat blink desperately needed. Or maybe a Geb that will keep these guys off of me, but he was not in that fight, unfortunately. But as you can see, I just picked up that Warlock Sash, so now I need to stack it, of course. I've already 64 stacks on my Book of Thoth, which, as you can see, gives me, in total with all other items, 462 magical power, which is quite a lot. I mean, there's a lot of gods who will have this kind amount of power after they buy their Rod of Tahuti. Or there will be about, what, 500, 600 magical power at best. And I'm almost reaching that without the rod. So that's nice. So I need to get into the lane as fast as possible. My blink is actually off cooldown again. Although, as I said, it's out of combat blink, sadly. Here I'm trying to save our Bakasura. There's a zone control again. Enemies don't want to walk through that whirlwind because they know it's painful. Here I need to get out with the Zephyr. I think I just popped the sprint there just out of pure panic. And here actually that's the problem. I'm not sure where these guys are because we almost have no wards. But here Scylla is backed into a corner and she actually used her Sentinel to get over the wall, so he has no escape this time, and I actually can bag her with my ult from close range. So that's nice. We try to chase them here a bit through the jungle, but I rather pick up a mana camp, to be honest. And I need some stacks. Stacks. So the Book of Thoth almost at 75. Almost at max. Here Odin has pretty much jumped me through the wall. I thought he must have a ward here. Here he ults to, I don't know, maybe stop me chasing, but to none avail. Here comes Guan Yu. Uses his ult for escape at first, but then comes right back onto me, and wow, look at that damage. That's crazy. Just a few swipes. Of course there was a Geb in there as well, but still, if Guan Yu wants to kill me, he still can. And here I'm buying the first tier for the Bancroft's Talon, which is actually an item I do not particularly like. It's not an item I buy often because this item is most beneficial if you're low life, of course. Yeah, it gives you magical power, more magical power based on how low you actually are, how much health is missing. And I don't like that. I like to stay at the back line and just nuke people without losing life, if it's possible. But I buy it here anyways because of the sheer magical base power it gives you. I think it gives you about 100 magical power at the base. So it is effective, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the style of the item, and I think I will actually sell it later on in this game. For some different reasons, but I will sell it. So they just destroyed our middle tower. Now I'm here to try to prevent them pushing the next tower. I'm just ulting over the wall again just to get rid of the minions. But I still managed to kill the tower. It had just so few HP left. I shouldn't have wasted that ult, but sometimes I just throw that ult out for good measure, you know. They're trying to get the slipstream, the whirlwind over the wall, and I actually think I hit it. Here Scylla is again using her escape offensively. We're trying to capitalize on that. Here is the whirlwind, but she actually gets away, and here comes Guan Yu again. Luckily, he ults and gets not on me for once, so I can stay in the backline here and just put down Whirlwind and Zephyrs for everybody to walk through. There's another kill, and Neve will actually grab up that Odin kill here. I'm trying to get her. There's that Sentinel again. I use my offensive blink. She actually dodges that Whirlwind, so as I said, she's good. She's really good. She dodged that Whirlwind, but the Zephyr has solo cooldown, so I can pick that up without a problem here. I'm now on 14 kills. That's crazy. 474 magical power, which is also very good. Here we're just sieging the tower. And Whirlwind is also a very good ability if you're sieging tower. Just put it down there and the defenders will have pretty much no options to try to clear the minion wave. Unless they have something with bigger range. Here's actually Guan Yu getting aggressive, scaring the crap out of me again. Every time he dashes towards me, I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna die. So I'm immediately backing out. Especially you'll only have like a half-life gap on your side. That's not the best backup you can have. Full life gap would be okay. You're taking another mana camp. Not only for the mana, also for the stacks. Trying to get stacks everywhere. I have 35 stacks on my Warlock Sash. So I already have over 2000 hit points. Here I flash for no apparent reason. Well, it's still low tier. The low tier blinks, so it's not a problem. Anhur comes in from behind and gets caught by this nice ult of mine, dealing 1000 damage, which is pretty much 75% of his life. So yeah, if they're walking away from you in this fashion, like he just did, it's actually quite easy to land the ult. Here comes Scylla from behind. The I'm a Monster almost killing off Gap here. Crazy damage. So see, she is actually doing quite well in terms of items. Here Bakasura is getting chased. I try to slow the gap, but of course he is CC immune when he is actually rolling out. At the end of the rollout he will get CC immune. Here is the gap chase. And the thing is, he could have just turned around and hit our gap in the face. I think he would have killed him, but he did not realize that for some reason, so that was good. Picking up another kill, or I think it was an assist rather, and have 2000 gold now, but I want to get some more stacks here. I'm now at half stacks, because the Warlock Sash actually stacks up to 100 maximum. So here's the Bancroft's Talon, 570 magical power. And there's the combat blink, so this will actually save my tail in a few fights. So this is a good purchase for me. In this particular game, I would not recommend to buy combat blink specifically on Kukulkan. But it's situational, it can be very good. I mean, the sprint is a very good active because of his slipstream. And there's the Gold Fury picking up a kill on Guan Yu, which is rather humorous. There the gap is initiating with his ult, but I could not get close there because of the shifting sands of Anhur. But my ult still dealt like 1000 damage, so that was good. And you can see I deal a quite nice chunk of damage with just that Zephyr on their tank. And here's now that zone control again, forcing them to walk through that Whirlwind, and Gap now solo, he has to return to base, so we can actually siege this tower. Although we're not sure where the rest is, we just see Odin at the moment. There comes the rest out of the base, and we're just trying to zone them away from the tower with these Whirlwinds. But fighting right now would not be good because my ult is down. So just trying to zone them away with Whirlwind. And Scylla is actually being quite aggressive here, but now they chasing Leaf through the jungle. She was a bit out of position. And yeah, here I think I was cursing right here, because this was a perfect situation for my ult. That narrow corridor, everybody jumping into one line. And of course, my ult was on cooldown. So that was sad. But the fight continues into left lane. Our Odin getting overwhelmed there by a lot of guys, and I just trying to defend the tower right now. They're all in the left lane. And the thing is, if they destroy this tower, we have an open Phoenix, and we're already a bit behind on gold. We were ahead once, but now they took some nice fights off of us with good positioning and some nice catches in the jungle. So we need to be careful right now. Losing this tower could be very bad for us. So I'm trying to zone out with the whirlwind. Here I'm trying to go for a kill on her, but sadly I missed the ult. That could have been an easy kill. And there's again that shifting sands. That's also a very nice ability. You can see it covers the whole lane and it slows you down so badly. If he lands that on you, you cannot chase anymore. It's almost impossible. Here's our Bakasura running into 3 people. Quite unfortunate there. And I just need to get the hell out, because I'm getting chased here by 3 guys. Putting the whirlwind into the jungle corridor just to block them off. And I need to go back because I'm out of mana. I cannot defend anymore. Here I'm buying the makings of a Rod of Tahuti. And already I'm on 600 magical power. So just imagine with the Rod of Tahuti, which gives you I think 20% more magical power. So that's gonna be a lot. Here to actually destroy our towers, and we now have an open Phoenix, which is bad, and we are 4,000 gold behind. So we need to be very, very careful. We need to have some good team fights now, which will be a big part on my responsibility. I need to hit these damn ults, because if I do, these things, at least after I buy the Rod of Tahuti, they will rip apart almost everybody. And I'm also at 92 stacks on my Warlock Sash now, so I'm almost completely stacked out at this point. So if a game is if it's going longer than 30 minutes, you can buy both stack items for sure. Just don't buy them too late. Buy them as early as possible. The time you are still in lane would be good to get a lot of minion kills. Here we discovered I just did the fire giant, so that's another danger sign right there. So we don't want to engage into fights at the moment. Although Guan Yu is chasing here, runs right into my whirlwind. I'm trying to slow him down, but that dash gets away from us cleanly. And Guan Yu as well has some good heal on his own, so even though you can poke him down, he can heal it right back off after a few cooldown rotations. So was a nice catch, or at least a nice try of a catch, but it didn't work out as good as it could. Here I combat blink out of the ult of Odin, and my own ult actually flattens Scylla. Then they're all on this neat little pile, and they're all just staying in my tornado as long as possible. So that's perfect fight for me. Here I'm trying to go for Odin, and look at that, I'm putting it down, the whirlwind, and he just flashes right behind it. That was perfect played from him. Then he jumps over the wall, gets away cleanly. Here we try to flatten Geb, but hey, look at that tanky bastard. He walks through my whirlwind here. He could have dodged it easily, but still he gets away with just a sliver of health there. There's Odin again. He managed to get out of the jungle relatively unscathed, as you can see. But deving a tower against a kukulkan and at least 3 others here, impossible. So we take that advantage. get a bit closer in our gold deficit. And I'm not quite there for the Rod of Tahuti, so I think I sell my Vampiric Shroud here, my starter item, and bam! There comes in a massive power spike. From 640 AP, I think that was a jump to 842. So now it's gonna get painful. Here see they're chasing our Geb around. So they will be pushing mid lane a lot here. For some apparent reason. Here is Anhor getting called right out of position. But he just jumps barely out of the ult of mine. Here Odin catches Scylla with a nice ultimate. And we just get her down easily. Here comes Guan Yu right for me again. And yeah, look at that. Here's again, I can't just catch him under the tower and slow him down enough so he gets killed as well. But my god, this guy deals so much damage. It's crazy. So maybe in this situation, instead of a sprint, I should have gone for an Aegis. So that if I was under the tower and he was hammering me, I could just activate the Aegis so I could live a split second longer so that the tower shot could take him. Maybe that would have been a better decision, but on Kukulkan I pretty much always just buy sprint. I shouldn't, but yeah, that's just me, I guess. Now you can actually see 998 magical power, which is a bit deceiving because that's not true. That is because the Bancroft's Talon will add bonus AP if you're dead. That's a bit weird. So it says, yeah, you have 0 HP, so 100% of your HP is missing, so here you have a whole lot of bonus magical power. So if you have a Bancroft, never look at your stats when you're dead because they're not true, they're false. But actually it shows you the potential AP you could have, so that's a bit cool. Either like 4 on 3 and just use my ult here to blow apart their Geb. Just to get him off of my face. Because if he could have ulted there, they could have engaged on us and I would have been pretty much dead. Here try to flash over the shifting sands just to walk right into a Sikkim and get stunned. That was a nice play there from their Scylla. Here just trying to drop the whirlwind onto them and I get him under the tower. Just a nice team effort actually there. So now we try to siege the next tower and you can see we're getting closer and closer in gold and actually we're almost overtaking them. So we're coming back slowly but surely with each tower we take, and our Odin is actually split pushing, so we are having a double threat running at the moment. We're taking this tower down, no problem, pushing more forward. And this will actually be quite good because here we're just trying to siege the Phoenix and then Odin gets chased by Guan Yu, as you can see on the minimap. And because Odin is a friend of mine, the guy who plays him, we're on Skype and he says, I'm bringing over Guan Yu. And we catch him here off guard with our with the ult of our Odin and a nice combination of moves there from Bakasura and me. Catch him off guard and here and just ripping my ulti through 1000 damage on their tank. My ult alone, and Scylla was nice enough to walk through my whirlwind again to refresh that dot. So nice kill there. And here you can see even more clearly the potential zoning from that ult. You put it on the one side of the Phoenix. This is actually a nice play. The flash in from Geb, so Odin can catch up. Now here's the Odin ult and it just beat me down. So nice play there, Geb. Good job. That was amazing. Yeah, the zoning potential on the Phoenix is even greater than on the tower, because you can drop it on the left side or the right side of the Phoenix in that little gap, and it will force your opponents to come through the other side if they want to really defend, if they want to hit the minions. And then you can just throw all your skill shots in that gap. So yeah, that's a pretty good idea there. So here I'm actually full build right now. I bought myself the Spear of the Mages, I think it's called. Here actually Bakasura gets the drop onto Odin and on her. So he's actually 3v1, and you can see his crits are absolutely crazy. He just eats them alive. So he gets a nice double kill for us. He's now... At the beginning of the game he was a bit... he died under the tower a few times with a failed dive and he was a bit behind, but now he's right in it again. And he will actually continue to pull out these nice moves and these huge crits. So yeah, I bought the Spear of the Magos. Spear of the Mages, how do you pronounce that? I'm not sure. Spear of the Magos, which is the penetration item, a very special one, because it gives you penetration stacks. Here I'm just picking up that kill. So yeah, we need to chase him a bit, but you cannot get away from a kukulkan with slipstream and sprint. You won't get away. So yeah, the thing is about the Spear of the Magos, I think it's really cool on Kukulkan because you have that nice whirlwind dot, that whirlwind damage over time effect. In our team comp it's actually not that great, because you can see we have a lot of physical damage from Neve, Odin and Bakasura. Here comes Scylla from behind, but my ult actually deals 2000 damage and I barely flash out, thinking that I'm safe here, but Geb, here he comes, and I should just run away because I'm not gonna slow down Geb. He's CC Moon while he's on rollout, and you can see on the minimap he gets closer and closer and closer, and even with Slipstream I'm not able to outrun this beast, and he just, yeah, runs me over with that nice rollout damage there. So that was very well done from him. But you can see with almost 1000 magical power, you deal about 2000 damage to normal damage dealers, to hunters and mages who have not much magical penetration. The only thing that I noticed here is that I technically have a bit of a magical power overdose, because in Smite there is of course a cap on every stat, and technically I'm a bit over that cap right now with my current build. So I'm thinking, what could I sell to make my build more effective, more cost effective? And the conclusion I draw is actually to sell the Bancroft's Talon and replace it with another penetration item. Yeah, this one, because yeah, magical lifesteal is also quite cool, but I want to burst the team down. I don't want to prolong fights with lifesteal, so I'm getting the Obsidian Shard for more base penetration. And now I'm comfortable on 854 magical power and a lot of magical penetration. So even the tank will be bursted down in a few skill rotations, so that's good. Gold wise, we now have taken them over with the last few fights. And here I'm getting the damage camp, of course, just for good measure, which will get me over 1000 magical power again, which is freaking amazing, to be honest. That's pretty much as far as I've seen. I haven't played every god that exists yet, but as far as I've seen, Kukulkan is one of the few who can get these absurd numbers of magical power. So that's one of the reasons I really like him. Here comes the ult, missing everything again, of course. But yeah, you see the Odin ult is working out quite good for me because it makes it so easy to land that whirlwind. And now they're all solo and just trying to get another whirlwind, but I miss. Close combat whirlwinds. Yeah, but we're just trying to get down the Phoenix now. Scylla trying to defend here. She's actually doing quite a good job getting out of that again. Here comes Odin smacking down our gap, and I'm in trouble, so I decide to slipstream and sprint. And you can see that speed. I actually got away from a Guan Yu with ult. So that was amazing. Here they're still chasing us. I tried to save Neef here with a nice double slow, but I missed the whirlwind. That would have been an easy double kill here. So I decided to use the Zephyr here and flash away immediately. Look at Scylla. I put down the whirlwind, she uses her sentinel to get over that whirlwind and burst me and Neef down in a second. So that was a sick play of her actually, avoiding all the damage. And here's the triple kill, getting our Odin down with a smack. Smack, I think it's called, smackdown. I think that's the ability, smack or smash. And there's minions on our Phoenix, of course, and their Phoenix is not down yet, so that was a bit of a fail that we did there. We allowed them, technically they could go for another Fire Giant, but actually Guan Yu and Odin are dead, so I'm not sure why they're not going, maybe because they don't have a jungler. And they think our jungler could maybe Smite steal their the Fire Giant, maybe that was the risk. But I don't know. Here you see again that damage from Scylla. One hit and Bakasura is in half-life, that's sick. So here I'm trying to help out. There's Slipstream, there's the Sprint, trying to come in as fast as possible to defend. And here I'm trying to push him back as far as I can. Here our gap actually goes in, so I'm trying to follow up here. There's the stun on their gap, another stun from Neef. I miss my Zephyr, but bam, there's 1400 damage on from my ult on the tank. And yeah, Scylla gets also caught here. She actually used an Aegis to dodge some of the damage. So she has quite a good timing, but she was caught out way too far there. And this is pretty much a game win here, because they only have 3 defenders and one of them is actually split pushing at our right outer tower there. So yeah, that's pretty much an easy win here. We just go in. Odin has been almost killed there. He needs to rejuvenate. There's on her trying to deal some damage from the side, but Gep is just tanking up there like a boss, and now our Odin gets in, uses his ult there to zone a little bit, and I'm just trying to not die here before the Titan actually goes down. But Bakasura's damage on that Titan is just too much, and we actually get that win in the end. It's 44 minutes. It was a bit of a struggle at points. They were ahead, but I think we won some very nice fights in the end, get some good catches, and yeah. So that was my first post-match commentary. I hope it was not too terrible. So if you like these kind of commentary, leave me a like, comment if you haven't, subscribe. And I will try to do some more of these, because I kind of like it. I kind of like to look at my plays again, and my fails of course, because I actually can learn quite a lot of those, and maybe you can do too. So yeah, maybe see you next time on another Smite commentary or something like that. So yeah, take care guys.